On the play, intentional grounding.
Intentional grounding on the offense. Intentional grabbing, number 1. Intentional grounding, offense, number 15.
Hey guys, welcome in episode 8.
Welcome,
October
welcome.
1st is today. This will come out tomorrow.
Paula
October
Taylor's
2nd.
birthday.
Paula Taylor,
Happy
happy birthday.
Paula.
28 again. Can't believe it.
You age like fine wine, Miss Paula Taylor.
That's right. It's creepy.
Super creepy.
But
My
yeah,
mom.
shout out to Paula. Also, I want to take a moment and say something more serious. We are here for the jokes usually and to bring you guys joy, hopefully. But thoughts and prayers out to Western North Carolina. Places, it was underwater for a long time. It's crazy to see the high country, especially when we talk about App State, and we all love Asheville and have friends up there. So really thinking about you guys this week, and we wanted to also highlight some donations here in the Triangle. Burial Beer Co. is accepting donations. There's a GoFundMe on the Black and Gold podcast. It's an App State podcast, so you can donate to that. You can donate to App State Athletics. We'll put these links when we post in there as well, but you can donate directly to relief funds. And then Binky, you're also going up Friday as well to help kind of clear up some of the mess with, who is it with again?
Yeah, so Samaritan's Purse. We will also have the link in the bio for a couple months, actually. So if you want to get boots on the ground and donate some labor to assist in relief cleanup, disaster relief cleanup in Boone, Asheville, Florida, Eastern Tennessee, we'll have a link in bio as well. I'm heading down Friday morning to Watauga County, aka Boone, Watauga County, excuse me.
He's not from there. Yeah.
To aid in some cleanup there. So all these links will be provided in our bio and in our post. But as Alex said, certainly donate, boots on the ground, prayers, whatever you're able to do is greatly appreciated. Granted the devastation that has kind of hit the Carolinas and certain parts of Tennessee, so and Florida as well. So
Yeah.
And if I could add on to that, I'm also going to add a woman's Venmo into our bio and links today. Nat Tapp, a friend of some of these App State people, and my wife and Alex.
Yep.
She is taking donations specifically for Avery County, which is a very underprivileged area right outside of Boone. And she is really playing a big part in trying to help rebuild that area. So I'll link her Venmo in the description as well. And if you feel so kindly able, donate to her as well. So
Yeah.
right
Cool.
on.
Right on. Sweet. Well, thank you guys jumping in. We got a great show for you today still. So excited to talk some college football. We got a recap of week 5 coming. We'll probably do some weekly news. I'm making an executive decision to do that first before we go into recaps. And then we got Juice's betting corner coming up. We got Juice in the studio, so give it up for
Welcome,
Juice.
Juice.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me,
Coming up.
gents.
And then we're going to go into picks. And before we do that, make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. Leave a comment. 5-star reviews would be awesome. 10 stars if it lets you. If it doesn't, report it to Spotify. Just see what happens. As far as
Also,
that,
Shout out Nick Green. We had our first commenter
let's go.
on the podcast
Come on.
on Spotify. So Nick, we will be sending you
A gift basket?
we'll be sending you a gift basket here shortly.
Gift basket. Yeah. Just chocolates.
Just while we're on gifts, real quick, Pat, any update on our guy Ben Smith's?
yes, the poster is complete.
Nice.
Order has been placed, and it should be shipped within the next 5-7 days.
All right,
Shout out,
you
Ben.
heard it here first.
Love
it's
it.
on your way, my guy.
Love it. Well, let's get into some weekly news. Topping off, I think, all week. It's kind of fell in the buzz now, but UNLV.
Yeah, this was something that we didn't talk about last week
Because it happened
in
right
our
after.
episode. Because it literally happened like day of.
Yeah.
And we just didn't touch on it.
Yeah. UNLV Matt Sluka. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
NIL.
Cool name, honestly.
Very great
Cool
name. And great quarterback. Great talent. Transferred in from Holy Cross this year to UNLV. Really good quarterback. They were 4-0, 3-0. They were 4-0.
Undefeated.
They were undefeated. Now they're 5-0 still.
A lot of playoff. Look, we're trending towards the group of 5.
They are still
Playoff
projected,
bid.
to be the 12 seed somehow. They play Boise, which that'll be a great game this year.
Chauncey's going to have something to say about that.
Yeah, I mean,
Do we know? I apologize, but do we know where that game is?
I think it's at Boise when I was looking at
It's
it.
at Boise.
Game day.
Yeah.
Game day.
Game to easy. If they're both still undefeated, that'd be electric atmosphere. Boise, Idaho, one of the most bikeable cities in the world. Shout out from here to there, YouTube City, that helped me fall asleep. So as far as that goes, so Matt Sluka, he just said, I'm not going to play anymore because there was a dispute with his NIL. NIL being name, image, likeness for the new listeners that we have just picked you up this week. What that means is basically he signed, he didn't sign a contract, but he agreed verbally with UNLV early in the season that he would be paid $100,000, which is a lot of money, but they agreed to it.
Was this with an assistant coach though? Like
It was with an assistant coach when they were recruiting him from Holy Cross.
And it was only verbal.
It was only verbal.
That's the big.
Yeah.
They did not
key.
get
It was
contract.
only verbal.
Did not get it in paper.
pen to ink.
No ink.
Like
Yeah.
my dad says, nothing's final until the dotted line is signed.
Yeah,
That's right.
You
Dotted
need
line
that
is,
written.
We love a good dotted line. I want to see a bold line's great too. But as far as that goes, he got $3,000. And I don't know, is that just total? Is that a month? Do
Got
we
a pay
know?
cut. No, he had only accrued $3K out of
Total.
the $100K that he was promised.
So okay,
I think it was 3. I think it was going to be like
3 a
3K a
month.
month. I think. Like,
which in college, amazing
Great.
salary.
oh, that's great. That's
amazing.
amazing.
As
As an athlete that
not good.
can make much more.
Yeah. I mean, Arch Manning's getting paid millions to sit on the sideline. So as far as that goes,
NIL like minimum?
I think it's all
That's
free game.
there. I think there's going to be a cap at some point in the next few
a
years.
salary cap?
I mean, yes, truly.
Do you
There has to
actually
be.
think that?
Yes,
Really?
I do.
Yeah.
There has to be because right now, I mean, this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg here with UNLV and Matt Sluka. It's a little bit unique and niche in the sense that this was a verbal agreement. I think it's a bad sign or a bad look for both UNLV and Matt Sluka. Matt Sluka had an agent,
Yeah.
which is just insane to say. Granted, he's a college athlete.
Yeah. I mean, Johnny Manziel had an
they
agent
all
too.
do.
But
Yeah.
Just his buddies.
yeah, but that was pre NIL being legal.
Maybe he should have hired his buddies. I hope it was one of his buddies.
Yeah.
Probably should have.
Yeah.
Just the tip of the iceberg here.
Yeah.
And just a sign of honestly how messy this whole NIL thing is for non-players, honestly, in college football. So we'll see. Bad look on both sides.
The crazy thing
I think the
is-
thing that bothers me the most.
Yeah, you
though,
go first.
thing that bothers me the most is listen. I'll raise my hand. I'm the first person to say that I love NIL. I think it's.
Yeah. You love money.
I do love money, and I
Yeah.
don't get much of it, but I love to see my friends win.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
Matt Sluka's not a friend, so
Yeah.
a little upset with him and bailing on his team. Granted, kind of their trajectory for this season.
Yeah.
I think it's a bad look. Also, really bad look from UNLV and recruiting. You know,
Yeah.
what are recruits going to say?
Yeah.
Or
We're
what are they
pro
gonna
NIL podcast.
We are pro NIL.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I
very
just want to
much so.
send Matt Sluka, if you want to come on and tell your side of the story, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
He hasn't done any press, so if you're safe here, we'll support you. Can't believe UNLV did that to you. That being said, UNLV is undefeated still. They won again without him, and then they won without the running back quit as well. I love saying quit because they did. Basically, like he said he's not. He redshirted as well.
Walk out like Friday Night Lights style.
Yeah,
just
it's like
bailed.
I don't know what happened, but they still won. I don't know. I can't remember
Their
who they played.
backup is kind of a dog.
Yeah,
I think they'll be in decent hands.
turns
here.
out
Hajj
great
Malik.
program. Great program. They keep winning. Honestly.
Vegas has got money. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that much.
But yeah, so that was a big story. Another one that dropped today in news. The Pac-12 is they added 2 schools today.
more.
Technically
Technically.
2 schools, 1 football
Technically,
school.
technically
technically-
they've only added one.
They've added 1. They're really close to adding another one, which is very interesting. They added Gonzaga.
And it's not a football school.
Not a football school.
So it technically
Do
doesn't
they have
count.
a football team?
I don't know why they can't just get 11 men out there today. Like, if UConn can get like warm bodies to put out there and lose to Duke, then I think that Gonzaga can find some athletes to go live in Tacoma, Washington, and just play football.
fair.
It's a beautiful, beautiful place.
Shout out Toyota Tacoma.
That's right. Birthplace, hopefully. So the Zags join the Pac-12. Looking at that, we're not a basketball podcast. That's a good basketball conference now. San Diego State, Gonzaga, all of them. If you look at stats, they would be at-large bids for the NCAA tournament. So that's kind of a fun fact. The other one is sneaky and weird, confusing.
It's so weird.
It's a confusing stat, but once again, money talks. Sacramento State, an FCS program, has raised $30 million, almost 35 million. Was it overnight? Was that
where
in
did
24
this
hours?
money come from?
They put together an NIL collective so they could make a bid for the Pac-12, which is strange.
Money talks.
Money talks, I guess.
Is talking.
But I mean,
What do y'all think about that?
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't think is Sacramento State. I mean, I'm not familiar with FCS programs except for the top tier. Is Sacramento State even a top tier FCS program?
I don't know.
I truly have no idea.
First question I asked.
I don't know if that does the Pac-12 want to be a conference? First off, they didn't add people with state, so I'm already pissed about that.
Let's look at the rankings for FCS.
Yeah, they added Gonzaga and it ruined the state
They're
name.
number 20. They're 2 and 3 in the FCS.
Yeah, so but they are in Sacramento, so it's the state capital. They're really good at basketball still.
They
so
lost-
that could be a
Raleigh's
basketball
also the
place.
state capital of North Carolina.
Yeah, that's right.
Look what that got them.
Shout out to state capitals everywhere, Boise. But
Nashville.
Richmond. As far
Atlanta.
just how many can we name?
We're not going to do that. That's on me. That's on me. I'll take ownership there.
But it is strange. The Pac-12 has not spoken out on it. They said they're in talks. We'll see what happens there. I also did see that Memphis and Tulane are back in the conversations after last week saying that they weren't going to. Now the Pac-12 is just like, hey, we keep adding schools. Do you guys want to leave the American? If that happens, I think the Mountain West will be dead. The American, I don't know if they'd merge because the Pac-12 doesn't. I mean, maybe who do you think? The American?
No, I'm thinking Pac-12 Mountain West.
I don't think Pac-12 wants to. They just want the top schools that were there at football, which is fair. But it's a whole mess.
In a world that could see, I mean, it doesn't make any sense necessarily for these teams to join the Pac-12, but I could see our top two FCS schools in North Dakota and South Dakota State potentially
doing the Mountain West.
Yeah, potentially doing Mountain West, but that doesn't help.
That would be fun. That
doesn't help the
that.
I mean, it does. Mountain West makes sense, but Pac-12 doesn't. Geographically, but also how the Pac-12 will need another team.
Yeah,
who are they going to take, and when are they going to accumulate that? I mean, they have till 2026.
There's bids out there on the rumor mill of Twitter, which is a reliable news source, that Texas State is still putting together a bid to try and go to the Pac-12.
Did I see UTEP too?
UTEP joined the Mountain West today.
That was the technically
makes sense.
8th team in the Mountain West. However, Hawaii is football only, so they're not classified as a full conference. So they also need another team.
Yeah, the real loser in all of this is going to be Hawaii because they've been trying to build a stadium for years and they just can't get funding. And then it's such a cool program, but no one can fly there economically.
Yeah,
it makes
Marshall
no sense.
Definitely can't fly there. That's for sure.
Yep, that's
They're just
true.
flying over water. It's okay.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. This is it's not gonna make a real. It's gonna make it's gonna change things. The Group of Five for sure. It's not gonna affect anything in actual Power 5 football unless the ACC loses schools. If Florida State, Clemson, if Cal and Stanford actually came to their senses and went back to the
I know
Pac-12, that would make the most sense. But nothing makes sense anymore. But UTEP is in.
Money makes sense.
That's right. UTEP and UTSA I get mixed up all the time. But UTEP is in the Conference USA, so that is a step up, I guess, and it makes more sense. They haven't really been good recently.
I mean, if we can rank those Group of 5 tiers, what are we 1 through 5? What is our
I think right now with all the news, I think the Pac-12 becomes the best.
But they're technically not Group of 5 right now.
That's true. I think the best right now is just going off football. Going by money, it's the American. I think they get the most money. It's a crazy deal. I was looking at the stats today. Like they get like $5 million each school does, but they don't have like big. They really rely on the Army, Navy.
Yeah.
They're trying to get Air Force, so that'd be big. But I'd say Sunbelt is close behind them as far as football, actual product on there. They don't have a lot of money. It's a very low number deal with the TV. So if they could poach some teams, if I'm the Sunbelt, I'm looking at who I could get. After that, it's probably, take your pickings between Conference USA and Mountain West.
I'm gonna say Mountain West.
Yeah.
And then Conference USA, and then MAC. I think the MAC is the worst.
Yeah. But so we'll see what happens there. A lot of stuff going on. Besides that, we have some new Heisman stats. Travis Hunter is leading the pack, which I agree with because he plays 2 positions and is pretty good at both of them so far, so that's pretty hard.
Averages about 1 million snaps a game.
Yeah, so we'll see if he can survive the season, hopefully. That'd be electric. Jalen Milroe, Alabama quarterback, is next. He's looking better and better. Ashton Genty, Boise State running back. That'd be so fun if he won the Heisman.
They got to keep pushing forward, though.
Yeah.
They need to keep winning. That's the only way.
Keep the field blue. Cam Ward, Miami's quarterback, looked bad this week, but still got the W. And then Ryan Williams, an Alabama wide receiver, looked really insane. So I think those are all viable options. I bet on Travis Hunter at the beginning of season and Ashton.
Did you really?
Yeah, I put down like $10 on each. So that would...
To win, how much?
Give me like 700.
Great. Okay. So that'd cover the money that you still owe me.
Well,
you'll probably owe me $575 at the end of the season.
But then I guess you're just going to give that back.
You'll be able to net $125 there.
Are you going to give that back when Colorado wins the Big 12 with 10 wins?
If they do, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's going to be crazy.
Still waiting on that 75.
Did Jackson Dart fall off this list?
He did this week.
After the Kentucky.
There's probably
there are a couple
10.
people that are... This is just like generic...
Okay.
Top 5.
Got it.
It's smaller than it usually is at this time of the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Normally the list would be really, really long.
Yep.
But other notable names, Quinn Ewers will hop back on this list when he's back in play. And then Dylan Gabriel also, I feel like, will hop on.
Once they start playing real football then.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go recap week 5, starting with the SEC corner. Binky, take us away. What happened this week?
We're going to kick this one off with the game of the year thus far.
Yep.
In Georgia versus Alabama.
Ooh.
What a game.
What a game.
Crazy. I fell asleep.
That was not something that we probably would have...
When did you fall asleep?
Before Georgia took the lead, so that was fun to wake up to.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a stinker. It was a stinker before that.
Okay. Yeah.
It was a blowout.
To each his own. Yeah. First quarter, 28-0. Bama had the lead. Things were not looking good for the Bulldogs. Statistically, this is a very confusing game for me, looking at Georgia's stats. Carson Beck. So let me just kind of paint the picture here. For those who didn't watch, 1, I feel very bad for you. 2, hell of a game. Hell of a game here. Georgia was down by 4 touchdowns at the end of the first quarter. Looked like Alabama could have just kind of taken their foot off the gas and played conservatively throughout the rest of the game, which they did, and that kind of came to bite them in the ass a little bit.
Yeah.
Georgia crawled back and surged actually out to a lead. Took the lead with about 2.5 minutes left in the game, and they held that lead for approximately 13 seconds before the 17-year-old alien and Ryan Williams took over.
Yep.
Probably one of the most athletic football players I've ever seen in my life. Granted,
you don't think he's from here? You think he's an alien?
I do not think he's from this planet.
Got it. Okay.
And fun fact, also, he'll be 17 until February. He turns 18. He doesn't turn 18 until February, which is just insane. This guy could be entering the draft as a 19-year-old, which is just insane to me. Hell of a game statistically. Carson Beck, quarterback for Georgia, was about a 50% completion percentage, but he also put up 450 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But matching those 3 touchdowns, he had 3 interceptions. So kind of
3 for
evened
3.
out there. Jalen Milroe looked unstoppable
Yeah.
in this game. I
so
think it just kind of further proved that Kalen DeBoer is truly just one hell of a football coach.
Yeah, can you imagine, gosh, just being a Bama fan and you have the greatest coach of all time retires and then you get Kalen DeBoer and you're like, I don't know, there's no way you can live the hype, and then you beat Georgia.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this game was just one for the books. If y'all have not watched this, I highly encourage you to head out YouTube.
Yep.
And watch
Shout
the
out
highlights from
YouTube.
this game. Shout out YouTube, not a sponsor, just a fan. Incredible game. Alabama ended up pulling this one out by 7 points for a touchdown. Shout out to Ryan Williams. This was absolutely game of the year thus far.
Absolutely.
My takeaway, real quick, from this game, both teams looked elite at times, absolutely elite at times, but both teams also look very human
I think Georgia's still pretty
at
good.
times. Yes,
Yeah,
Georgia,
yeah.
Georgia,
for sure.
Georgia's still
Georgia will
pretty,
be in the playoff.
pretty nasty team.
Both of these teams are really great, very solid teams in the SEC, but they also showed a lot of humanness. Almost zero defense in this game.
Yep.
Very, very excited to see their trajectory the rest of the season. I think both are a lock for the playoff.
Yeah.
But they do have to face my Tennessee Vols,
Yep.
which I'm
Both
very excited
teams?
about. Both, yes.
Oh, fun. Fun for
Hell of a game. Hell of a game. Shout out Ryan Williams. I think it's awesome for a 17-year-old. It's awesome and it also sucks, and it's humbling to see a 17-year-old out there
you. Yeah.
kicking butt on the football field.
He's 11
Meanwhile, we're
years
all
younger
here
than me.
fighting for our lives. We're going to jump into a relatively sensitive topic here. Granted, Juice is in studio this evening, this beautiful evening.
Do we need to skip it?
No, we got to talk
Okay.
about it.
We can talk about it.
We're
If we just
objective.
keep avoiding it,
Yeah.
We're objective sports
come
reporters here. We avoided
Yeah.
it all Saturday. Kentucky. University of Kentucky Fighting Wildcats
What the hell?
come into Oxford, Mississippi to take on a top 10 team in the Ole Miss Rebels. And
Nice.
it did not go super well.
Yeah.
For the Rebs. The Rebs on paper, looking at the stats here, outperformed Kentucky in every statistical category.
That's good.
And still
the
lost
points.
the game. I think, Dalton, you're here. I'm an objective reporter. I do have a couple thoughts on this. I don't think Ole Miss is dead. I do not think Ole Miss is dead in the water here.
Yep.
And I'll touch on Kentucky in a second for just a little bit, but Kentucky fucking sucks.
Okay.
And I hate them.
Okay. Do y'all play them?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Can't wait for it.
Nice.
This was a microcosm of scheduling, having a candy ass schedule.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, putting up all these numbers.
I would agree.
Ooh, Ole Miss.
Yeah, and then having your recruiting pitch in the end zone. Just a lot of games and gimmicks here in this game for Lane Kiffin, which is a lot of those things have worked out for him in the past, but at the end of the day, rubber meets the road. You're going hat on hat against SEC teams week
Two
in,
hats.
week out, and we see what happens when you don't schedule strong enough competition towards the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Granted, Kentucky, I'll give them a little bit of shine here. They have a great defensive line. I think it just kind of exposed Ole Miss's offensive line in a pretty severe way.
Yeah.
In this game. What to make of Kentucky, I have no idea. At the end of the day, this is a very, very bad loss for Ole Miss. I don't think they're dead in the water. I think they can still climb back up. They've got a brutal schedule here towards the end of the season, midway through the season to finish it out. I think they can definitely kind of rewrite their story here by pulling out 2 wins against some top 10 teams here. But
Yeah. It's always good to pull out.
brutal loss, very confusing loss. If I was a betting man, I would have taken Ole Miss in every single bet here. It was just a
I did, actually.
very confusing game. A lot of rumors about Lane Kiffin, and his mind's fixated on the Florida job. I don't think that's the case.
No.
I think he's going to stay in Oxford. I don't think it makes sense for him to leave. But
Yeah.
crazy game. What to make in Kentucky, who knows? But they got lucky. Kentucky got lucky so many times throughout this game, and just Ole Miss, I think they were 1 of 10
Yeah.
on third downs in this game, which that's not going to win you football games. And
Yeah.
Jackson Dart is a good quarterback, but zero clutch gene in that guy. So
Yeah,
not to drag the Rebs here, but not a good look this weekend there in Oxford, Mississippi.
Yeah, definitely not a good look. My couple quick takes as our local Ole Miss fan. This one obviously hurts. I think two things are at play here. One, naturally we're a very fast-paced team. To your point, we've been moving really fast in a lot of these early games because we haven't played anybody. Kentucky did a great job of controlling the momentum and slowing us down, and I think that those momentum shifts really kind of impacted the kind of quick-natured offense that we have. Two, I mean, it's buzzing in Oxford right now is like big-time penalty problems. Like, we have big-time penalty problems. We've had them against the Candy games, and then we had them again
It was
this week.
3 straight pass interferences on third down.
Yeah,
towards the end of the game,
and it's like it's stuff like that. That's like we can't be doing that, and just also the like fake drop to the ground, like I'm injured thing. Like, don't do that shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm an Ole Miss fan. Like, but just like you can't be doing that. Like,
Yep.
that's embarrassing for me. Like, for us as Ole Miss fans, you had to be like, yep, yeah, that happened. Like, nobody's denying that happened. So like, we got to cut that crap out too.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I mean, I don't think it kills us. I spent a lot of Saturday, really, noon game on the East Coast, and you just think about it the rest of the day. And
Yeah.
that's just a crappy.
There's a blessing and a curse to those.
It's a crappy feeling because no other game after it feels like it matters.
Yep.
Yeah. But
I feel
It's
you there.
but
we'll see.
We
Back
got
to
a bunch of big games to bounce back with. I mean, I would say my anxiety is, pretty focused solely on South Carolina right now after.
we'll highlight that game here towards the end of the pod.
So
Yep.
Let's jump. Back to the drawing board for Ole Miss. A&M Arkansas this weekend. I like to call this one the Clinton Bowl in Jerry's World. Both teams didn't look super great, to be honest. Marcel Reed, A&M ended up pulling out the dub here, 21-17. Pulled away with a touchdown, held Arkansas to a field goal here in the fourth quarter. Both teams didn't look super great, but I mean, definitely a good win for an A&M. Marcel Reed also threw up 50% completion rate with 160 yards and 2 touchdowns and 60-point QBR. Not super good. Taylor Green, Arkansas's quarterback, threw up a 59-point QBR. So not great quarterback play in this game. The name of the game here was rushing game. So A&M pulls this one's out in the Clinton Bowl in Jerry's World, and then we'll finish out the SEC corner with Oklahoma at Auburn. Auburn fans, I am so sorry.
Sucks.
They controlled momentum most of that game and kind of had it in the bag, and then Peyton Thorne did what Peyton Thorne does, and very untimely turnovers, throws a pick six with about 3 minutes left in the game, and Auburn just could not pull back or push forward for the rest of the game there. So tough look for Auburn. Good win for Oklahoma. We're going to see what Oklahoma actually is here over the course of the next 3 or 4 weeks, granted their schedule. But yeah, chaos. A lot of chaos in the SEC this weekend with the Kentucky Ole Miss game and Bama UGA, but great, very entertaining this weekend in the SEC. So let's hand it on over to the ACC.
The ACC corner, sponsored by the Duke Blue Devils, who are undefeated still. So shout out to Duke. They beat Carolina, came back from 17-0. Give them some love. Talk about, candy-ass scheduling. They've mastered it. So we'll see what happens. I think that they could probably win some more games. We'll see. Jumping into that, Virginia Tech versus Miami. Crazy ending. Miami probably shouldn't have won.
just normal Friday night.
Normal Friday night.
And not thinking a lot of the game. And
just happens.
Yeah. Snuck up on us. Miami should not have won that game.
Yeah.
Straight up.
But they did.
Cam Ward, 343 yards.
Insane.
Athlete.
Future Panther, probably.
Yep.
Hopefully. Someone please.
Someone please. But yeah, just honestly a messy game all around.
Yeah. It was bad.
Toward the end.
I was also I was at Shady's in downtown Garner, which is like the only bar there. After going to Chili's, which is a crazy sentence. But we went, and then it was surprise stand-up night, and so I was watching this game while there was also like 4 local comedians just doing 15-minute sets, and we had to leave after the second person because he was just bombing.
Oh no!
And so that was sad. He bombed so bad that when we were leaving, the guy after him came out, and that was supposed to go up. The next comedian was like, "Guys, if you stay, I promise I'm funnier than that guy was."
Oh,
Which
no.
was just the fear in his eyes. It made me feel real bad to leave. But I had to watch this game. I couldn't watch them when they're trying. If you ever wanted to know what it's like to be frustrated, try watching a college football game while someone's trying to do stand up to you. Like it is completely insane that bar was like, yeah, this is a good idea. Crazy
Yeah,
game.
that was crazy. Another solid game that also, I'm a big TV golf watcher, and I
Right.
think you all are finally seeing
that golf's a fun sport.
No. The BS, the BS of the way that television broadcasts certain games because they think they're of value.
Yep.
Louisville Notre Dame was on the cock. Was on Peacock.
Yeah. I didn't watch it.
We watched 3 plays because we flipped over there
Yeah.
and we couldn't.
There are too many good games on
Yeah, it's like-
YouTube TV.
YouTube
Yeah.
TV has me in the 4 quadrants
Yeah,
and
the
I'm going,
quadrex
but then
is where it's at.
You get
like-
sucked in the 4 quad vortex.
yeah, and then we never wanted to switch out. We did twice.
Yeah.
Watched 2 plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they were both in completion.
Yeah,
honestly.
we're like, oh, this is
You're
bad
telling me
game.
I have to
Flip
get a
back.
Peacock subscription and buy another TV just to
Exactly.
be able to watch?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
So I just wanted to highlight that was some
Yeah.
bullshit.
So what do you have the stats pulled up, Juice? Like who won like that game?
Yeah.
I think it was Notre Dame.
Notre Dame won.
Notre Dame did
won.
win.
Riley pulled through.
Yes, Riley did
Saw some
pull
highlights.
through. Yes.
Let me hold your beer.
Close game pretty much the entire game, and then Notre Dame kind of pulled away there at the end.
Okay. That's great.
So not
We love when
even
Riley
cra-
wins.
Crazy electric, but
We saw him live.
Let's see.
All 4 of us. It's crazy.
Riley Leonard had another. Nope, Riley Leonard did not have a. No, he did. He had 2 passing touchdowns.
Man, that's big
go.
for him.
That's big for
Did
him.
he run any in?
He
What was
had
his rushing yards?
2 passing touchdowns for 163 yards in this game, and then 1 rushing touchdown here.
I've never seen
13
just
carries for 52 yards.
an athlete like you're a star quarterback for a major power conference, and like you're like, I'm just not going to pass touchdowns. I'm just going to hand it off. It's an insane strategy, but crazy game. Peacock, fix it. Just make the
fix
deal.
it.
Yep, it's your fault. We don't
Yeah.
have much intel
Just
on this
fix
game.
Yeah. SMU at Florida State. Florida State verbal meme is just Mike Norville looking at DJ Uiglue after his 3rd interception, and it looked like he wanted to murder him.
Yep.
It was bad. But crazy game. DJ had 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Yikes.
A QBR
Yikes.
of 13, which those are Bryce Young.
And that's out of,
net stats.
keep in mind, that's traditionally out of 100.
Right.
that
yeah.
look might have just been like buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
Look,
It
it
was
was
just-
like you bought the car, you brought it home, and like
Yeah.
your wife didn't like it.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shoot. Like,
Yeah,
I had to take
It's
this thing back.
It was
probably.
supposed to be like a Mercedes. You get home and the sticker comes off, and it's a Toyota Prius. This is crazy, but
Which
yeah,
is a great car, by the way.
It's a fantastic car. It'll get you, 0 wins, maybe 1 win if you're lucky, like the Florida State Seminoles. But SMU first ACC game. Shout out to them. They got no money from it, but they got a win.
A big win.
Big win, 4-1. Let's see what they're like. I'm curious to see how they'll fare when they actually play an ACC team instead of whatever Florida State is right now.
Yep, that's fair. And they're an ASS team. That's what they are.
It's insane what they are. It's insane that they have an elite coach that just can't coach them for some reason, and that no one's playing hard.
They were ranked preseason.
They're ranked top 10.
They're in top 10, and it's just
It's
that
crazy to
beat down from Georgia last year is just in their head still.
Sore.
They got outscored 28-7 in
Yeah.
the second half. And
Yeah.
if I know much, which I don't, I do know this. That's not going to win you any football games.
No. And shout out to the Dallas boys of SMU. The Mustangs were riding. So good job on that first win. And then the final thing I did hint to it, Duke beat UNC in the classic showdown. Malik Murphy.
Everyone was watching.
I was watching, honestly. It was in a weird window where some games were ending, and there were some blowouts. So I was like, "Oh, Duke's coming back," and I was like putting my daughter down, and like I definitely delayed putting her down, like holding her. She's crying, and Duke was just driving, and I was just like, "Wait, Margo, wait, just one more drive," and then they pulled through.
Herself.
And yeah, she's crying, pooping, peeing. Just throwing up all of it. But
Margo,
we had
you
to
don't know what
see-
this game means to me.
Yeah, the Duke Blue Devils.
Two unranked,
This is the battle of the
horrible
triangle.
football programs.
Duke is 5-0 for the first time since 1994.
Dude,
so-
and they were when I turned it on, the fans were still sitting, just
Yeah,
like they
they're-
were, just like they
They're
were last
still
year.
learning
Always.
how to be a fan base.
Duke Clemson last year. I will never forget us going to that game, and they're beating a top 10 team in Clemson.
They're beating Clemson.
and all the student section was
left.
sitting. Most of them left half.
We
Like,
rushed the field.
We
for
ran
them.
on the field for them.
Insane, but
Pat got to meet his childhood hero.
he did. He didn't see
that
him.
game.
He's not my childhood hero. but
Yeah,
he's-
was it Derek Lively?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
older than him.
Yeah, that's crazy because he's like 6 feet taller than us. But yeah, so shout out Duke. That's a great win. You know, even if your schedule is crazy, it's great to shout out. It's great when a triangle team is at least competent. I would love to go to a game. We talked about it on here. SMU Duke would be great. We can go to the Devil's Deck. 45 tickets, all you can eat food and drink. So we'll see what happens. So I'm going to kick it over from that ACC corner to the Big 12 corner with Ricky.
Hold
Yeah.
on, real quick. We got to touch on one thing.
What happened?
I forgot the call at the end of the game.
Virginia
Oh.
Tech, Miami.
Yes.
Oh,
According to the refs, Virginia Tech won this football game.
Oh.
Virginia Tech was down, had to drive down the
They
field
did
in
call
about
a
30
touchdown.
seconds.
They did, yep.
They did, threw a touchdown pass with about 3 seconds left on the clock. Refs call it a touchdown for Virginia Tech in a massive upset against the top 5 team, Miami.
Be crazy.
Wait,
Let's look at it again.
Miami won the football game.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech was called on the field for a touchdown.
Yeah.
If you watch the replays, there was absolutely zero irreversible evidence to call that not a touchdown.
Yeah. It's hard to see.
And they did. I think there's some mafia
Involved
stuff going on
for
in Miami.
Miami?
I think Miami's
Yeah.
got the mafia in their pockets, or maybe
Is
they
that a
just
thing?
actually need an ACC team in the playoff.
feel like that's more cartel
horrendous
territory.
ref job there. I don't think I don't think it was a touchdown. I don't think the ref should have called it a touchdown. But
I think
the
that's
fact that
correct.
they did,
This should not call it a touchdown.
they should not have called that a touchdown.
Yeah.
The game should have been over, but they called it, and then they kind of buried.
Yeah.
Kind of dug themselves a hole there. So do better, ACC refs.
Yep.
Virginia Tech should have won that game. So
Yeah.
just want to touch
Joey-
on that. Shout out Ben Spickard and
Shout out to
all
Ben.
of our Virginia Tech fans that listen.
Joey Gilland, who fathered me, he always said the refs never want to decide the game, and I don't know if that. I've thought about that forever. I don't know if it's true of what the refs actually think about, but you never want it to come down. Like if you're a ref in the human form, you don't want to call anything that's going to decide the game either way. You want it to play out, and on a Hail Mary situation, I think it's an easy no call. So that's from never reffing a game. That's my 2 cents on there. But Big 12 corner, Pat, walk us through. It's kind of crazy.
yeah.
How about them?
Let's
them,
dive
them
into
teams?
this because
Cannibalization.
Yeah.
station.
again we're
Big
going
12.
back to the
Eating each other.
cannibalization.
Just munching.
I'll zone in on Oklahoma State K-State first.
Yeah, get out of the
What
way.
a nail biter of a game, honestly.
Crazy.
Like went down to the wire.
Yeah.
42 points scored.
42 points scored.
42 to what? I think it was 42-20. I turned off the game. I don't even know. I
Yeah.
hate my Oklahoma State Cowboys right now.
I'm surprised there's not like a hole in the wall somewhere.
I wish we could.
good
I
thing
wish
I
we
wasn't
could
here.
broadcast our group chat.
Yeah.
That was high spirits.
Yeah, he's
I was
feeling good.
not here, so thank God I did not.
Do you
put a-
think
put a hole
Oklahoma
in the wall.
State could bounce back from these past
I will
2
say
weeks?
if they have to win every single game to even have a chance.
Yep. Can they still?
So-
they can still make the championship game.
Yeah, but they have to win every single game
Yeah.
to do that. Like the problem is losing to Kansas State really puts them in a weird position because Kansas State got their shit rocked by BYU.
Yep.
So it's like
It's a crazy visual.
there are too there's too much cannibalization, and at this point our 2 teams in the championship are BYU and Iowa State.
That's right.
Like-
the powerhouses.
They're both undefeated. Kansas State is Kansas State good, or is BYU just really good? Oklahoma State's not good at all. Alan Bowman's a piece of shit. Sorry,
Yep.
I'm tired. Sorry, Alan. He threw
We're
for
halfway
six.
through the season, and it's already got Pat in absolute shambles.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
looking
not feeling
forward to
good.
next season. Just like a true Cowboys fan. Honestly, that's my inner Dallas Cowboys fan.
Well, it looks like
talking.
BYU, Colorado, Texas Tech are all 2-0 in conference.
They are. I guess Iowa State's only 1-0.
But Iowa State's the best team probably there. They're 1-0, but they're undefeated. Ranked 16th.
But BYU and Iowa State are undefeated. So,
Yeah.
I think if season ended today, you take the two undefeated teams.
Yeah. What do you think the ratings want of this Big 12 championship? Like, what teams do you think the TV markets really want to see? Like, what's going to get the most viewership? BYU. BYU's a good story.
I think Colorado's a good story. Colorado's the best.
Colorado,
The
probably
thing
BYU.
is-
The
thing
Mormons
is,
versus Colorado.
That would be insane. I do think a Colorado. Oh my God, it's so tough. If Colorado's not in it, I
Those
think
would be amazing stories if Colorado made it to the Big 12 championship and BYU, who was supposed to be a laughing stock in the Big 12 this year.
Yeah, that is true. That would be a pretty good game.
Yeah.
However, honestly, let's just dive into the next portion of that. Like Colorado,
Yeah.
they were a 14-point underdog, and they
They're supposed to
won
get
by
rocked.
like 20 points.
Yeah. It was insane. Like they were running the ball.
Yeah,
They-
you don't need
their
to do
line
that.
was
Why were they
blocking.
doing that? They didn't need to do that.
They looked better. It's crazy.
Travis Hunter had 90 yards.
He had an
9
interception that was
He had
just
an
like
interception
alien
and a
like.
touchdown. He again looks like that Heisman candidate.
Yeah. I think Shadur's pretty good quarterback too. I don't.
He
think
is. No, he's great.
He gets a lot of hate because he's
He's a first round draft
verbal.
pick.
Yeah.
I
he will be.
think.
But he was throwing some dimes.
Again, Iowa State, BYU, undefeated surprisingly. Those are not the two teams at the beginning of the season that I thought would be undefeated at this point of the season.
Yeah. Pause. Wait, Binky, how are you feeling towards our bet with Colorado now? We check in every week. Now they're four wins under the belt. What's your gauge?
Same as last week. Not incredibly. I'm not sitting here and saying it's a lock. I'm still feeling good. I don't think what they got going on is sustainable. And they absolutely will not win 9 games this year.
Okay.
So, yep, feeling good.
Who
Still waiting
else
on
do
that
they have?
$75.
Who else do they have left?
Colorado?
We don't.
Yeah, pull it up for us, dude. Pull it up.
I've got it right here. What's
Yeah.
crazy is they have a bye week this week,
Okay.
and then they have Kansas State at home. So
Okay.
we could see a really good. I mean, Colorado could win that
They
game.
could get a butt whooping coming their way.
Colorado
Kansas
could
State.
I mean, it could go either way. I think it's going to be an
But
ass kicking either
BYU
way.
beat Kansas State, so we'll see what happens.
And then they have Arizona, who beat Utah.
That's
but
true.
Lost to Kansas State.
Yep.
What
So
is going on here?
It's just the elevation in all these places is so different. you know?
Ryan Windhorse-Finger.
Yeah.
What's going on in the Big 12?
But Colorado's sneaky team to
Yeah.
win Big 12. I would not be happy about it, but you know,
Dude, I'm shocked about next game you have on here. Arizona? Sneaky
Yeah.
again?
Arizona-
I didn't even watch that game. I
Sneaky.
just saw it after and I was like, what?
Arizona taking down Utah, and I think this plays into Isaac Wilson's inability to be a good quarterback.
Yep.
Utah is really good with Cam Rising. They are not good without Cam Rising. And I just think overall they're a better team than Oklahoma State. But to lose to Arizona is a very surprising thing to see. I think Isaac Wilson threw 2 interceptions, had a touchdown, not too many yards. Didn't look like a quarterback. I mean, he looked like his brother.
Yeah. Just hot, you know?
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Just hot and nothing else. But
Sweet.
again, man, the Big 12 is up in the air right now. And again, Utah can still win.
Yeah, they don't have Cam
Kansas State
Rising.
can still win. Oklahoma State can still every team is still up to win because they have losses.
Yeah.
At this point, surely BYU will lose. Surely Iowa State will lose.
BYU
There's not
goes
going to be a
undefeated.
single team in the Big 12 that
It's going
goes
to be
undefeated.
absolutely insane. Those Mormons are going to have so much soda.
But it's a spicy conference right now.
It is
And
spicy.
I'm not looking forward to the rest of the season, honestly.
Dude, y'all can survive, thrive. Big things will happen in that Big 12 conference. Going from there, we'll go into Big 10 corner. just we'll buzz through this because once again we're not a Big Ten podcast really. There's 5 undefeated teams.
Woohoo! Yep.
What are they?
Hey, that's a crazy thing though. Honestly,
That is crazy.
2 of the teams are very unexpected.
It was
I think we
Oregon,
need to highlight Indiana.
Indiana, and
Rutgers and Indiana are
Yeah.
both undefeated.
Indiana got JMU's old coach, and apparently he knows how to coach.
Coach Sig.
Yeah.
Shout out Coach Sig.
Did y'all see that he texted every single student at Indiana and was just like,
Screw the tailgates.
yeah, he's like,
Screw
get
the
there
classes.
early. Yeah, if you have homework, do it after.
Yeah.
Like we're changing the culture here at Indiana, which I love.
Which is great,
Love that.
yeah.
Go Hoosiers, man.
Who's your daddy?
Come on, who's your daddy? What else? I'm gonna start with Illinois Penn State because man, I bet on Illinois and I needed them to win, and they just threw the stinker, a stinky.
That
And
was-
I took the over, and I forgot I was watching a Big Ten game, and I was like, gosh, that's not. They're not gonna score points at all.
Yeah, but they get you with that over in
They
Big
do.
Ten games because
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
35
yeah.
points. And
You're
you're
like,
like,
you can't
surely.
score 35, and then you're like,
Surely.
no, they're just running the ball
21
into
times.
walls. It's just a brick wall on each side. They do nothing, but they recruit linemen on all these Big Ten schools. It's crazy. Yeah, Penn State throttles Illinois like it was 21-7 or 27. They dominated it. It felt like a 40-point lead. Illinois couldn't do anything. Going from that, Wisconsin, USC pulled through. Wisconsin had an early lead. But USC came out. USC, I like that. This is the one thing about the Pac-12 powerhouses joining this Big Ten conference. There's more offense. It's adding a little bit. They're not as tough as these Big Ten schools historically, but they're scoring more. So USC scored 38, Wisconsin 21. Miller Moss, he mossed everywhere, 30 for 45, 308 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Braden Locke over at Wisconsin, only 180 yards, 13 for 26. So we'll see if Wisconsin's the real. I don't think they're a real deal this year. I think their coach is not on the hot seat, but was his second season after he left Cincinnati.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But shout out Big Cat. I know that you're a Wisconsin fan and listener of the pod. So as far as that goes, Minnesota versus Michigan is our next game, and we have
Michigan almost that was a nail biter.
Yeah,
honestly,
that
Michigan
was,
only
yeah.
won by 3 points.
That's true. They Michigan is once again. They're like, hey, we're good, but not too good.
We're good in probably the most boring
Yep.
way
Yep.
in the history of football.
Yep. Yeah.
Maybe not
It's-
the history, in the modern era of football.
Yeah, it's just a wham and counter offense. We'll toss the ball every now and then, but crazy game. I love that Minnesota, the Golden Gophers, their coach is still going for that quarter zip with a tie every game. I love it. Brings the energy. Minnesota is 2-3, not looking great. And then anything else from the Big Ten? Oregon looked
No.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Oregon's Oregoning. And
Yeah.
Big Ten is a snoozer.
Juice's Corner update on the Oregon UCLA. That was one of our
Yep.
sim
yeah,
games.
Yeah, what
Take,
happened?
take us over to
Yeah,
Juice.
let's just parlay this into
Yeah.
Juice's
All right,
Corner,
great.
Yep.
and then we'll hit
Welcome
our
to,
picks
welcome
here.
to Juice's Corner.
Welcome.
In. Glad you're here. So in real life, 21 was the we took Oregon to cover 24 against UCLA.
Yep.
21 was real life,
Dang.
and our sim game was 6.
Yep.
Pat? 6?
7.
7?
Seven.
So we missed both, which
Yeah.
is the first time, which definitely hurts.
However, if you looked at the TikTok and you took the opposite of what I said, because that sim game didn't hit,
Yep.
you would have made money.
That's
so
true.
you're 50-50 there.
That's
Yep.
true. That's
That's
true.
true. It's all about how you
does
think
help.
about it.
We take the opposite
We
of
took
what
the-
happened.
There's
What
a
happened
science
in
everybody.
the sim game.
You got to
We take
realize the
the
science
opposite.
behind it.
We Notre Dame money line hit. Oklahoma to cover 2 hit. Boise State to cover 7 hit. Oklahoma State money line was just a bad stinky bet.
Stinky.
And Georgia money line. I mean, I don't know. That one felt like a lock, and got kind of embarrassed by that. Interesting. Just kind of zooming out for a second.
Yep.
Went
Let's
3-3 last week. I want you all to guess this. If
Okay.
you had rode with me every single week as individual bets, that's 6 bets per week.
No parlays.
No
No
parlays.
parlays. You did not
Just
combine
single
anything.
individuals.
Single individuals. What do you think my record is currently.
I can see it here, so I won't say.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you missed like 3, 4.
What?
Total?
5.
So you're saying
10.
I should quit my job? Is that
I'm
what
gonna
you're
say
saying?
you missed 10.
No,
Okay.
it seems like you're dead even. You're hitting you're either going 2-4 each week, or you're going 3-3 or
Bingo.
4-2.
Bingo. We have gone 15-15. 500.
Okay. 15 locks,
broken
15
even.
misses.
On this podcast, you have not gained any money,
That's right.
but you've also not lost any.
That's right.
Which that's the game.
And
That's
that
the game we
is-
play.
that is
House
the
does
name
not
of-
always win,
The house,
as they say.
well, 50% of the time they won.
No, but we took it back.
But we took it back.
Yeah.
We did take our side back. So that just parlays us really quick into my week 6.
Let's go.
We're getting a live Juice's Corner.
Oh,
again.
Live
come
Juice's
on.
Corner
All right, let her
happening
rip.
here.
Yeah,
Okay.
let her rep.
And now
Sim.
to Juice's Corner.
Sim game of the week.
Yep.
Y'all, this is awesome and is going to set Pat up for a great Thursday afternoon matchup for
Yep.
him to watch while he works. Jacksonville State to cover 15.5 versus Kennesaw State.
Oh, Kennesaw State's so bad too.
So bad.
Okay.
So
Those are
bad.
such bad
So, but
teams.
that's a lock sim. That hopefully gets us right back on track.
I love it.
I also am thinking about a bounce back game for Miami
Yep.
to cover 10 against Cal. My free money bet, which for historics, I've always hit the free money bet except once.
Let's go. So always.
So pretty much always.
So not always.
Alabama to cover 23 against Vandy. I know Vandy's given some people some scares this year, but I'm thinking that's a free money go around. Oklahoma State versus WVU under 65.5.
That'll
that
happen.
Feels.
That'll happen.
I saw 65.5,
Yeah.
and after watching.
We cannot score the ball.
There's no way.
There's no way we put up 30 points. Like,
Right?
What if they fix it?
who's gonna fix it?
I don't know. The coaches.
Hey, this is live Juice's segment.
That's
Let's
right.
let
No,
Juice
you're-
go.
you're
right.
good.
Let
I
it
know.
go.
I'm agreeing with
No,
it.
yeah,
cook.
that's what that validation from a fan.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then Tennessee to cover 13.5 against Arkansas. I think that's dead.
I want to
Best
know if
beat
Binky
block.
likes that one.
Yeah, can I get some feedback?
Yeah, I love it. I
Oh,
think we're
okay,
gonna kill
well,
Arkansas.
Okay, love it, love it. Well,
Love
are you
it.
going to be there live?
Where? No, I will
Okay,
not be in
no.
Fayetteville this weekend.
I'll
I'll be in Knoxville the next 2 weekends after this, but not in Fayetteville.
Fans don't rush him. Okay, game of the week: Mizzou +2 versus Texas A&M is what I'm taking. I don't. For some reason, I thought Mizzou was going to be the favorite here, so this felt just like an easy.
Yeah, this
Go
is
around.
strange.
It is strange. I think it's just because A&M is at home.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
it's
right.
they're barely.
Yeah,
They are barely.
It's kind of a little bit of a wash there, but yeah, I'm going to take Mizzou +2 there. So that is this week's betting corner with Juice.
All right.
Love
now
it.
we can go to the real action, which I'm also tearing it up in.
Let's go.
You are. You're leading.
Yeah,
let's
let's
wrap
read
this thing
the-
up with picks.
Let's wrap it up. Let's go over the records real quick. We got Jackson 16-9, and then we got Binky at 16-9, so tied for the lead. We got actually Juice is in the lead with 18-7. Didn't look at the bottom. So Juice is in the lead with 18-7, and then Jackson and Binky with 16-9, and then looks like Ricky is slightly beating me at 15-10, and had a great week last week.
You did.
If Illinois would have just pulled through, 13-12. Was 4-1 last week though, so we'll see what happens. So Jackson, who you got? Great. Cool.
Let's start with Jackie's picks here.
Yep.
I'll take over for Jackie here.
Yeah, what's the first one?
First game this week that we are picking to wrap this out this week, we have number 12 Ole Miss, who is favored by 9 at South Carolina.
Yep.
In Columbia, this is a noon game. Keep in mind.
Ooh, okay.
No, 3:30.
It is a 3:30
Yes,
game,
keep
which
that
is
in mind.
creeping. Okay, I thought it was a noon.
Yep. Nope. 3:30.
All right.
We're not doing noon again.
I'm really
Yeah,
glad
no
about my
noons.
pick here.
Yep.
Jack is going to be taking Ole Miss this weekend to bounce back and beat the Cox. Gilly, who do you got here? Ole Miss at South Carolina.
I'm going to go Ole Miss as well. I don't think they lose twice in a row this season.
Cool.
Binky, who you got?
I've got USC Junior here. I have University of South Carolina. Transitive property here. South Carolina beat Kentucky 31-7. Kentucky then travels into Oxford and pulls out the dub. The thing, just super quick, real reasons that concern me, Ole Miss's offensive line.
Yep.
And I think South Carolina probably has a top 3 D-line in the SEC. Secondary slept on, and I think Robbie Ashford, their quarterback, is finally pulling things together. And I'm not too sure about the culture there in Oxford. So give me South Carolina.
Dude, you have been bashing the Rebs, but
Damn, bro.
I'm an objective reporter here.
Yeah.
well, I'm going with big bounce back game. We covered.
Got to.
Yeah. Just try and kind of get the train back on the tracks here.
That's right. Rick?
I think we'll see a bounce back from last week. Ole Miss is too good putting points on the board. Back-to-back slow weeks.
Jackson can dart it.
So, I mean, South Carolina does have a surprising defense. Like, honestly, it's ranked in the top, I think, 35. But like Binky said earlier, Ole Miss has so much left in their story for the season to end it here. Give me the Rebels.
Love it.
Toddy.
Awesome.
Gosh almighty.
Next game, we got Southern Methodist University at number 22 in the nation, Louisville. Jackson.
Hey, Jackson here. I work at 15.5.
Nope, he doesn't
I
anymore.
don't work at 15.5.
Yep.
I work at another company.
Nice.
And we're going to have to bleep that out.
Why?
Give me Louisville here.
embarrassing
I
for
like the chalk pick and give me Louisville. Gilly, who do you have here?
I'm going to go with SMU. I like what I'm seeing from him. I think Louisville's frauds, to be honest.
All right. I actually kind of struggle with this one because I think SMU's been playing really good football this year, but I think Louisville's quarterback is really good, Tyler Show, and granted it's at home. I'm not too sure how much of a home field advantage Louisville is.
They have the weirdest stadium ever.
But I like Louisville here, so give me the whatever their mascot is. What are they? The Cardinals?
Cardinals, yep.
Yeah, give me the Cards.
Juice.
I'm going to go Cards as well, even though we watched only 3 plays their game last week.
That's all you need.
That was enough for me.
Yeah.
I saw what I needed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Going with Louisville, going with the Cardinals.
Ricky.
I think I would normally take SMU here, but Louisville is fighting for their ACC championship.
Yeah.
Just as much as SMU is right now.
Yeah.
I think that home field advantage, granted, I don't know, again, how much it does give them the advantage, but it's a good test for them this week. I'll take the Cardinals.
Love it. Next game we got is Rutgers at Nebraska. Jackson.
Yeah, I'm going to go again here with the chalk pick. Sorry. Yep, I'm going to go here again with the chalk pick.
Yep.
Give me Nebraska.
That's not. Yep.
Rutgers.
Sound like that?
Rutgers is just solely
like
a rushing offense, and I think Nebraska's got a good rushing defense. So
Yep.
give me Nebraska.
Love it. I'm going to go with Rutgers. I have not watched them play, but man, I feel good about them. Binky, who you got?
That undefeated dog.
I got to ride with the Fighting Will Comptons.
Yeah.
Shout out Will.
Shout out
We
to
know
Will.
you listen.
Yeah.
Give me the Huskers.
Love it.
I'm taking the Huskers as well.
Corn's what's for dinner.
Corn is what's for dinner.
Come on. Rick.
I mean, Rutgers is undefeated.
They are. These are facts.
Something that they love to do is run the football, and they're really freaking good at it.
They are. Yeah.
I think his name is Kyle Monangai. They're Rutgers running back. He's averaging almost 150 rushing yards per game.
Yep.
However, Nebraska has not allowed a single rushing touchdown all season.
Ooh, a test. A test is afoot.
While playing more games, more notable opponents, give me that sea of red.
Love it. That's where
Nebraska at home.
college football was founded. So that's pretty cool. Next game, we got Syracuse at UNLV. That's an interesting game. Jackson.
Yeah, I'm going to go with UNLV here. I think their backup quarterback, granted all the controversy with Matthew Sluka, I think it's going to hype up this team. So
just say what team he's picking.
I like the bet. He's committing. I'm gonna go with the Cuse. I think UNLV's luck is running out. I think they're a good team, but they got too many backups in. Syracuse is sneaky, and they don't care that UNLV is struggling. So I think they're gonna take it to them.
Yep, give me Syracuse as well. Kyle McClure is slinging that thing. I think he's put up big numbies and at least 3 touchdowns in this game.
Hawk 2 is slinging that thing.
And UNLV, I don't think a home field advantage in Las Vegas exists. Granted, they have all fan transplants, so
Yep.
give me the Cuse here.
Love it. Juice?
I think I'm going to go UNLV here.
Let's go, Las Vegas. Viva.
Mostly because I really don't like Syracuse's kind of football culture.
Yeah.
They don't strike
Basketball
me as
school.
much very
Playing a
serious.
dome, too. It's stupid.
Yeah, they don't strike me as
Same
serious
friggin'
serious people.
Places their basketball court.
Yeah. Just like building on their stadium.
So, yeah, I'm going to go Vegas,
When
baby.
you not have enough
Love it.
money or
I'm going to
something?
put it on red.
Put it on red. Come on. Rick, who you got?
I'm also going to put it on red. I can't tell if UNLV is an offensive or defensive team yet. So, but they're honestly like looking pretty good at both.
Yeah.
Odds might be stacked against them playing ACC opponent, but give me UNLV to continue the story.
Love it. And last game we got is the number 9 ranked Mizzou at number 25 Texas A&M. Jackson, who you got?
So I've got a chalk picture this week, but I'm gonna go against the chalk here, and I'm gonna give me the Aggies. Big game in Kyle Field.
Yeah.
Mizzou has revealed a lot of themselves over the last few weeks.
Yep.
In terms of defense and most of offensive efficiency, and I like Marshall Reed in this game. So give me A&M.
Love it. Thanks, Jackson. I'm going to go with the Mizzou Fighting Tigers. I like them in this game. I think that Texas A&M is not ready yet this year for the big challenge that the cooking that Brady's going to have with them. So give me Mizzou. Bink.
Give me an AM. I think Mizzou's frauds. Thank you.
Oh,
Sorry,
nice.
you said ham? What did you
Ham.
say?
Give me A&M. Give me A&M. Give me
H&M.
Marcel Reed and Kyle Field. I think Mike Echo is a good coach. And I think
is.
Eli Dorkwitz has just
Good coach
been
as well.
what
rebuilt that
do we
program.
like to call him? I wouldn't say that. I think he's just gotten lucky with 2
Top
players.
10 team.
So, give me A&M.
Got it. For the exact opposite reasons, I am going with Mizzou.
Love it.
I do not think they are frauds.
Yep.
I don't think A&M's looked that great the last couple games, too.
Yep.
And honestly, I'm still a little butthurt by some of the Ole Miss comments by Binky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Fight
that's
against
fair.
it.
That's 100% fair.
Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, so Ricky, over to
Great
you.
band.
Yeah.
Mizzou's fun to watch, and I really don't want to fight their odds. I mean, honestly, the odds are stacked against them, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
But the Aggies have a huge penalty struggle. I think they've given up over 300 yards in penalties.
Yep.
I do think playing at Kyle gives them kind of an advantage, but I don't know. Give me Give me the Tigers.
Yeah.
Vegas seems a little confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This game is confusing.
Yeah.
Honestly, just like call it even.
Yeah.
If
Honestly.
anything. Why you have to do the -1, -2?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's money to be made.
Maybe Vegas knows something. The Fighting Mike Elkos might be. I don't know.
Yeah. That's true.
Wild pick. All
Insane.
right, let's wrap it up.
Yep.
Great episode, boys.
Good job. I gotta go feed my daughter.
I gotta go
What are you
feed
doing?
myself.
Oh.
We love you.
Thanks for having me.
My
Cheers.
God,
Do.
that is crazy.
Cherish the ride, not the memories, because the memories die, but you can always ride again. See you guys
Yes
next
and
week.
Yes, and
Again,
amen.
again, if you feel inclined to help, all of those links for helping Western North Carolina
With Hurricane
and Eastern Tennessee will be in our bios, in
Yep.
our descriptions. So check
Yep.
those out. Consider donating, and we will see y'all
Pray
in the next one.
for Western NC.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Pray.
Stay
Pray,
grounded
pray,
on
pray,
3.
pray,
Stay grounded.
1, 2, 3.
Stay grounded.